Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. It's your boy World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about the WWE Smackdown October 31st, 2025 review. And my thoughts on Smackdown was this was a pretty decent show. I liked it. You want to know the funny thing is, guys? I actually thought this episode was better than anything that was on this week in wrestling. And yes, I did watch AEW. I'm not going to lie. I watched it on a replay on Thursday night off of HBO Max. I did not dare watch it live. I'm not going to sit through and bore myself to death. I actually had the excitement of sitting through and watching the Minnesota Timberwolves and the LA Lakers have their game. That was fucking fun as shit. Way better than anything. That was a nail-biter to the finish. And the Timberwolves came back from almost a 20-point deficit. Almost won the game, but came up short thanks to Austin Reeves hitting a medium-range jump shot floater into the bucket with the game winner and walking away with the W. Very impressive win by him. And the Lakers today came back from a deficit again. Luka Doncic is actually playing in this game. He was out during the Timberwolves game. I would have picked the Lakers, but I thought the Timberwolves had the game won since they did have Julius Randle on there. If you guys are familiar with basketball in the NBA. Yeah. Getting back to wrestling instead of talking about sports. I'm going to say this, guys. This SmackDown episode was impressive. Very good closer to the show. Go-home show for Saturday night's main event for tomorrow. I think this show did the job. This was definitely something that intrigued me a lot. It was very entertaining. And I thought it worked. It really was fun to sit through, and it was exciting. The show did kick off with Tiffany Stratton heading to the ring. She showed up. She asked for the SmackDown music to be cut off, and Tiffany says she has a bone to pick with Jade Cargill, and she won't wait until her music hits or tomorrow night. She calls out Jade Cargill to the ring, and out comes Nick Aldis, who tells her to think it through. He says Tiffany is cleared as tolerated. That means no physical contact before her match tomorrow. Tiffany says she doesn't care what the doctors have to say after last week. Tiffany calls Jade a coward and tells her to come out. Jade comes out. Aldis tells Jade no physical contact, and he asks for security. Jade tells Nick that she wasn't going to do anything anyway. This doesn't serve her. She busted her head a couple of weeks ago, and she tasted her own blood, and she wants that title. And tomorrow, Tiffy time is up. Tiffany gets out of the ring and goes after Jade, but security stops her as Jade begins walking to the back. Tiffany gets back in the ring and grabs her title as Tiffany's music hits. Back to Cole and Graves, and we cut to the highlights of Ilja Dragunov. I can never pronounce his first name correctly. I don't know why. But yeah, Dragunov had the opener to the show. He's kickstarted the show with the first match. Before the match even took place, though, the Motor City Machine Guns are with R-Truth, and R-Truth is dressed up as Santa Claus for whatever reason. They asked him, he gives them candy and he leaves, and I think Alex Shelley asks him, "Are you you do realize this is Halloween, right? Is that a Halloween costume?" He goes, "No, this ain't no Halloween costume. This is Christmas. You're in the wrong month." And he's like, okay. Wow. Weird. And obviously it was weird. After that, in comes Solo Sikoa, and they tell him they are going after the tag team titles. Solo Sikoa also tells them, "Why are you even talking to an idiot like R-Truth?" They didn't respond well to that comment. Solo calls them Harry Potter, and he says MFTs are in line for the tag team titles. Sabin says if he was Harry Potter, he would cast a spell and shut him up. He challenges Solo to a match, and Solo says that's a good idea, and he will speak to Nick Aldis. So we get the U.S. Championship Open Challenge with Dragunov versus Nathan Frazier. Tommaso Ciampa looked like he was going to be added to this match based on the situation that was going down. He actually got in the middle of the ring. He wanted to have the match instead of Nathan Frazier, and Dragunov refused to face him because Nathan Frazier had the first shot to begin with. He was the one in line next for the U.S. title, and that he didn't want to waste his time with losers like Tommaso Ciampa, which I don't feel Tommaso Ciampa is a loser. Personally, I think Tommaso Ciampa beating Dragunov later on in the year, by possibly the end of the year, maybe by the Royal Rumble, I'd say Ciampa winning the U.S. title would be fucking great. I just don't want to see Ciampa pushed into this situation so soon, because I don't think if that's the case, he's going to win the title. I don't think Dragunov deserves to lose the title so soon either. I think Dragunov has been delivering on banger matches left and right each and every week. My biggest concern about him is he really goes stiff in that ring with his opponents. His opponents does the same. Nathan Frazier almost broke his neck. I thought he was really badly injured in this match. They did a German suplex, and he landed right on his neck. And my God, man, I really hope that Nathan Frazier didn't suffer any neck issue or something like that from that maneuver. But the way he landed like directly on the back of his skull, and his neck folded like an accordion. He fell off his feet. He fell to the ground, actually, after the match was over. He might have been selling it because of the fact that it was a long, grueling match, so that's understandable, and I hope that's what it was. It was just a sell and not a legit reason that he was just losing balance and couldn't stand up anymore. But this match, holy fuck, man. This should have been on the opener to Saturday night's main event. This was amazing. An amazing matchup between these two guys. I think this was fantastic. But being on SmackDown as the opener is not bad. It really brought out a really good feeling. It got your blood pumping and getting you energized for the rest of the show. And these two guys, they just fucking killed each other. They look like they were trying to kill one another, and they were fantastic, the both of them. But I will admit this, Dragunov needs to take some time off. Like, he needs to make it, he can make appearances. I don't want him to disappear or anything, but I really think he needs to take it easy. He is getting pretty walloped in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I'd say. He needs some time to relax. The guy is great in the ring, but this kind of work rate that he's putting in week after week after week is stuff that we see on AEW. And look at their roster. They go full blast all the way in when they wrestle, which is great. It makes the matches entertaining, but you also got to take a step back. You're human. You're not a machine. You can't withstand all this kind of damage to your body and think that that's not going to eventually get you injured. This style is not a good idea to do week after week after week. If they're going to continue to have Dragunov wrestle like this, let him take some time to cut some promos, develop a character with the audience. His wrestling has gotten him over with the audience. There's no doubt about that. The fans absolutely love him because of what he can deliver in the ring. But I've been bringing this up since since I've started back covering SmackDown. I want to see Dragunov develop a character. His character is just simplistic. I want to see a little bit more from him, a little bit better acting from him. His acting is off. He comes like after this match was over and there was a huge fight going on backstage from what Tommaso Ciampa did. We got him flipping out and acting like, what's going on here? And then fucking Tama Tonga is going, handing him the title. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You need to work on your acting skills, cut some promos, get a connection with the audience on a personal level. I mean, that is one criticism I will bring to the table here about Dragunov. His personality, he doesn't have any kind of character to him. He needs to develop that. That is something that's missing from his repertoire here. His wrestling is amazing. There's nobody on the... I don't care what you say. Cody's great, but Dragunov is fucking a killer, man. This guy went ahead at the end of this match, went UFC style, ground and pound, one shot, forearm to the fucking face, and a 1-2-3 finish. I fucking love it. I love the intensity Dragunov brings to the table, but I also want to see him develop a character. That's what's going to make him withstand with the audience and get him over with backstage politics. He needs to have the full package. He's got the one part down. The only thing missing is the character. He's got a very, like I just said, he has a very simplistic character. He needs to develop into a more polished character. That's not all just about wins and losses. We need something a little more from him. But excluding the character development issue that I have with him, he's fucking great, man. I love the dude. I hope at some point in his career he gets a run with the World Heavyweight Championship. If anything, just one time. I'm not even saying give him World Championship runs for the rest of his career until he retires. I'm just saying, just give him one shot as a world champion. If he was even to get that, I think his career is set. Because overall, he's a fantastic player in this mid-card division. This mid-card division needs him at this level. Because their mid-card is nothing. And I mean nothing compared to what Monday Night Raw has to offer. I think Raw's mid-card division with Rusev and Penta challenging for the IC Championship's fantastic. You got Gunther, who could go ahead and go back to the mid-card division for a little while until they move him back up, give him some rivalry matches, whatever. But there are stuff going on here on Raw that I enjoy with the mid-card division. Dragunov, man, bro, he's a fucking killer. Sami Zayn, he's amazing at what he does. That match he had with Dragunov was fantastic. And it's time for him to move up to the main event spot and challenge for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I don't care which, but he needs to get there eventually and do what he does best. And that's be at the top of the mountain at least one time. At least one time. That's all I'm saying. And I hope Sami Zayn gets that because he was on the show tonight. During a segment with Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis. Anyway, moving on to the next match, we had Kit Wilson versus Carmelo Hayes. This match was not all that big of a deal. It wasn't terrible. It was just average at best. And Carmelo Hayes and Kit Wilson, Carmelo Hayes ends up winning the match, but almost lost because of Miz's interference during the match with the referee not seeing him. After the match was over, though, his celebration was short-lived when The Miz came in and hit him with a skull-crushing finale. Next, we had Kathy Kelly backstage with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Kelly congratulates them on defending the titles on Raw. And Bliss says if the Kabuki Warriors have a problem, they know where to find them. And Flair says she normally doesn't let people in, but she'll let Bliss in, and her life is a lot better. Charlotte Flair proving how nothing has really changed about her. Flair says Naomi has not healed, and that is why she doesn't have any friends, or Nia doesn't have any friends. That's why she doesn't have any friends. And Bliss says tonight she will show Nia why she will outdo her. Okay. Next, we had Sami Zayn backstage with Nick Aldis. Zayn says he knows he is not cleared, but he wants to be out there for the Motor City Machine Guns. Aldis says with the MFTs, it will just make things worse, and he asks Zayn to sit this one out. Zayn says he will, and in comes Cody Rhodes. He tells Zayn what he did with the U.S. title was great. He is proud of him, and he should be proud. Zayn says better days ahead, and he wishes Cody good luck for tomorrow. Aldis says he has to look at Cody in the eye and ask him if he had anything to do with the attack on Jacob Fatu. Rhodes says he knows it was his job to ask, but no, he liked Jacob. Aldis shows him the contract, and Rhodes says he doesn't have to show it to him. He has to show it to Drew. Cody walks away, and we cut to the ring. Next, we have Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss with Charlotte Flair in Alexa Bliss's corner. This match was alright. It was okay. Some of these matches were average, I think. They were fair. Not bad. But yeah. Nia Jax ends up losing this match. Alexa Bliss got the victory over Nia Jax with a little help from Charlotte Flair. We cut to the back, and Solo Sikoa is with MFTs. He sees Rey Fenix and asks him what he wants. He asks Rey if he wants a fight, and Rey tells him he doesn't want to fight him. He wants to fight Tama Tonga. He says last week Tama Tonga got his hands on him, and Solo says they will have a match next week, and Rey Fenix actually slaps Tama Tonga in the face and walks away. And Solo tells him to just focus on tonight and worry about Rey Fenix next week. Boy, was that a fucking dumb move on Rey Fenix's part. I mean, literally, the man had to get on top of a object and to be able to slap him in the face. So he could stare at him face to face. He's that fucking small. Apparently, we got the Great Khali versus Rey Fenix, or the Great Khali versus Rey Mysterio 2.0 reenacted in today's modern day wrestling. I guess that's the way we could kind of compare it. I mean, Tama Tonga is not as tall as the Great Khali, but he's pretty damn tall for his height. Anyway, just not as tall as the Great Khali. Anyway, video package promo of Damian Priest. He says he doesn't hate all of Aleister Black's sneak attacks, that he uses his wife, or that he set his face on fire. For some reason, his existence is personal to Black, but now it's personal to him too. He tells him he knows what is coming, but Black doesn't know when or how, but he knows why. And he says Black spread his poison, but now he will feel his venom. Okay. All this is backstage. My honest opinion about the Black Damian Priest blow-off match, I really hope this gets to be on Survivor Series. I think it deserves to be on Survivor Series. I honestly think this should be a buried alive match, or a casket match, or an ambulance match. Something of that kind of nature. One of those three things. I think that would be fucking cool as shit. in San Diego on a fucking baseball field where the Padres play. Oh my god, that would be fucking great. Another thing I'd really love to see is the field actually there. Like they're actually performing in the ring with the grass around the ring. Nothing else. I mean, if you want to put padding down, okay, fine. Well, nah, actually, fuck the padding. They don't need padding. I don't know. I just would love to see them do something old school. I remember back in the day, WCW had some baseball field events that they conducted, and they actually had grass on the field. And you see the people sitting in the crowd that's on the grass, and also seeing people in the regular stands and all that shit. I just feel like that is so awesome and cool to see. It would be kind of cool if they brought that back, but if they don't, it is fine. But yeah, I think that an ambulance match, buried alive match, or a casket match would be the best options to go with for this blow-off match between Black and Damian Priest. Just my thoughts on that. Anyway, Aldis is backstage with Tiffany Stratton. He tells her she's not 100% fit. In comes Kiana James and Julia. James says to her she should have taken her advice and joined them. Tiffany tells her she will find the Tiffy time to kick her ass, and she walks away. In comes Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. Chelsea says she wants a match. Aldis says that's not how it works, and Julia says that's fine. If Chelsea thinks she is the better champion, she can prove it. And Aldis says they can have their match next week. Just like that. So Julia and James walk away. Chelsea and Fire turn around and see Nikki Cross. They get scared and they run off. Whoop-de-fuck-you-do. Like I give a shit. Next we have JC Mateo and Tama Tonga going up against the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. This was what it was. I mean, nothing special. I'm not a huge fan of MFTs. I don't think anyone are. I think most people don't care for them at all. But after the match, the MFTs get in the ring, and Talatonga hits Sabin with a choke slam. Out comes Rey Fenix, and Talatonga stands in the ring, and Phoenix with a kick onto Tonga. He gets in the ring, but Tonga with a boot to the face, and then Shinsuke Nakamura comes out, and he hits Tama Tonga with a right hand. Nakamura gets in the ring, and he lands a headbutt onto Tama Tonga and onto JC. Talatonga goes for a big boot, but Nakamura moves out of the way, and he hits him with a kick. Nakamura gets on the second rope and jumps, but Talatonga lands a choke slam, and the MFTs get in the ring and celebrate. Okay, great. Next, we had Nick Aldis in the back, and in comes Drew McIntyre. He tells Nick that he went through the contract. Everything is good, no issues. And Aldis looks unsure, and Drew tells Aldis that he is he has a very, very stressful job, and he has to learn how to relax. Back from commercial break after that segment, Nick Aldis is in the ring with a table and 2 chairs. Typical everyday contract signing. He introduces Cody Rhodes to the ring, and out he comes, and Cody gets in the ring, and he tells the fans Happy Halloween. Aldis introduces Drew McIntyre. McIntyre gets in the ring. Aldis opens the contract and says they have already discussed it, and all there is to do is sign it. Drew and Cody look at each other as the fans chant Cody, Cody, Cody Rhodes. Drew grabs the contract and says he can't sign it. Cody grabs it and signs the contract. Aldis asks him why can't he sign it. Everything in this matchup is just the way it's supposed to be. It's your normal, everyday, typical matchup. And then Drew goes ahead and he explains why. And the reason being is the fact that he can get disqualified, Cody keeps the title. He gets counted out, Cody keeps the title. If Cody gets counted out or gets disqualified, he keeps the title. He said, there's a major issue with this. I've been screwed over enough. I want this to be an even playing field, and I want the championship advantage removed from this match. Nick Aldis was not having anything of it. He did not care for this idea. He did not want to give in or bend a knee for Drew McIntyre's demands, but Cody went ahead and said, nah, you can go ahead and have those stipulations thrown in. I'll take the championship advantage off of on my side, and we'll make it an even playing field. I get disqualified or counted out. He wins the championship. And that's pretty much where all this led. Now, there is a small logic gap. You have a contract stating all these things where it's a normal stipulated match where there's a championship advantage. The contract needs to be redone and then signed again. That was not done here. That was a big logic gap there, which then leaves you saying he just signed a contract that he was disputing and saying there's an issue that he's having with it, yet he still signs the contract anyway, with a word of mouth granting that the stipulation is there is no championship advantage in the match. That's a huge issue. This segment should have been done twice, in my personal opinion. I think that Cody should have said, nah, you know what? Redo the contract. We'll come out here later tonight, get the contract fixed to the stipulation where I don't have the championship advantage, and then we'll come out here and we'll sign this contract. And then we could have gotten what we got at the end of the show, and they could have done their spiel. But they didn't. They just went right to it, signed the contract anyway with word of mouth, and that's it. That was a major flaw in the creative team, I think. I might be a little, being a little too micromanaging here on this situation. But when you're doing a contract signing, it's law binding. Once you sign it, that's the way it is. And unfortunately, this was left alone. And technically, they could change the ruling on the match when it's over. You literally could go ahead. Nick Aldis could be an absolute fucking prick in this situation and say, look, Cody may have gave you his word that he doesn't have a championship advantage, but based on the way you tried to go ahead and manipulate and get into Cody's head, instead of just beating him clean the way you're capable of doing, I am not granting you this title. You signed a contract that was the old contract with the championship advantage in it, and you go ahead and you want this title off of just pure manipulation, trying to get in Cody's head. Not happening under my watch. So guess what? You're not getting the fucking title. And Cody's giving back the title, and the win does not count. That is something they could rectify here in this situation, so that Drew McIntyre cannot suffer another loss to Cody Rhodes, because he's already suffered a clean loss to Cody at, at WrestlePalooza, I'm not sure. Did he actually hit Drew McIntyre with the title with the referee not seeing it or something? Or like he was knocked out? I don't quite remember. I think that was during a Smackdown segment. I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that. But point being is, Nick Aldis could go ahead and change the fucking story, make it the way it is, the way he wants it, and basically tell the audience, nope, Drew McIntyre is not being the champion because he signed the original contract that gave the championship advantage. has the championship advantage to the contract. Because all this was word to mouth. That's all this was. So Nick could also play that as a advantage card over Drew McIntyre because of him trying to do dirty tactics to get Cody to hit him with the championship, which he actually tries to do here in this match. Or not in this match, in this segment, I should say. But he is unsuccessful. He gets hit with the title, I believe, or no, he gets Claymore kicked and whatnot. But let's go through the entire dialogue of what happened after the acceptance of this. So Aldis tells him after he explains this that if he doesn't want to sign it, he has it with him. He has had it with him. He says there are tons of men in the back will be gladly take his place and will happily go there and get one of them right now, and they will sign it and face Cody. Drew says to get one of them, and he stands up. Cody tells him to sit down. Cody says he hears what Drew is saying. He wants a stipulation that if he gets counted out, he loses the title. Drew says yes. Cody says if he gets disqualified, he loses the title. And he says yes. Cody says he is 110% fine with that. Aldis says he strongly advises against it. And Cody says, with respect, if he thinks he wants an easy way out, he doesn't. Drew says if that is settled, he will sign it now. Aldis says he's not happy about it, and Cody tells Aldis that they all need to end it and let it happen. Drew tells Aldis to do the right thing, and Aldis agrees, and Drew signs the contract. Again, no change of contract, same stipulations, word of mouth agreement that can easily be swayed into Cody's favor even after the match is over and he gets disqualified for getting pissed off at Drew, doing something that Christian did to Randy Orton back in 2011 at Capital Punishment, and doing something like that, and that does not work here because he signed the original contract with the championship advantage on it. Drew says this is a happy moment for him and sad because they should be the best of friends after these 20 years. He wrote the blueprint, which helped Cody finish the story. He just doesn't like the way Cody goes about his business. He represents the corporate America, and the fans cheer him every week. Cody is the American nightmare, but he does things the right way. Drew works hard, tells the truth, and he's from another country, but is an American citizen as well. He says he is the real American dream. This ruffled the feathers of Cody Rhodes. You could see the anger brewing inside of him, and this is taking a shot at his father. Cody calls Drew Dream and says Drew is glad that he continues to bring up their parallel past. It is commendable. Drew made a blueprint that people are still following that he followed. He says Drew went overseas. He wrestled in front of maybe 100 people and did it again because he loves it the way he does. He says Drew became the Scottish Warrior and the WWE had to call him back. But that is where their stories are different. When Cody got fed up with the WWE, he grew some balls and walked away. Drew just got fired. That's it. He was willing to settle for a mid to nothing position in the WWE until he was fired. Cody tells him good luck for tomorrow. Nice guys used to finish last, and then he showed up. I love that line. I thought that was pretty damn good. Drew gets up and says Cody won't get the last word. The truth is that Cody gives and gives. The fans take and take, and one day they'll turn on Cody the way so many have turned on him. Drew says Cody wears his suit to impress them, but what would be impressive is if Cody was with his lovely daughters trick-or-treating. Oh God, he really knows how to fucking screw himself. He got what he wanted, and then he continues to dig himself a hole here. He talks about Cody's father by mentioning that he's the dream instead of his dad being the American dream, and then brings up his own 2 kids. What a fucking dumbass. You got what you wanted, and yet it still wasn't good enough for you. Yet at the end of the day, in this segment, he still got the advantage over Cody. Drew asked Cody what their names were again, and Cody slams Drew's face onto the table. Cody goes to hit Drew with the title, but Drew ducks under him and leaves the ring. Aldis is talking to Cody, but in comes Drew and hits Cody with the Claymore kick, and this happened because Cody moved Nick Aldis out of the way because he was worried that Nick Aldis was going to get hit with the Claymore kick, and he sacrificed himself. And then Drew grabs the Undisputed title, and he places it on the chair. Drew grabs Cody, and he powerbombs him through the table. And Drew and Aldis are face-to-face, and Drew laughs. He grabs the championship, and he tells Cody he will be the new Undisputed Champion. And Drew lifts the WWE Championship and gives it to Cody as SmackDown goes off the air. This was awesome. I thought this was a pretty damn good show. I don't think it was bad by any means. I thought it was very suitable, very watchable. Definitely watchable. Especially with that opener to the show. And outside of the one Logic app, which again, they could turn this into a positive, make sense of it, and whatnot, but when this happened, I had a feel. I thought maybe Drew was going to win this title after that, but then seeing how the segment ended, I'm like, no, this is not going to end in Drew's favor. Cody's walking away with the championship. He's still retaining the title. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. If you're looking for excitement, you're looking for unpredictability, you're looking for something that's going to be different, don't expect that. It's not going to happen here. The only saving grace that we can get from this show is that we get good wrestling in this show, and that's about it. But for results of what happens in these matches, they're all predictable. Tiffany Stratton's losing to Jade Cargill with the Women's Championship on the line. Cody's retaining his WWE Championship. CM Punk and Jimmy Uso, neither one are winning this match. I highly doubt that they're going to have Braun Breaker sitting in the shadows doing absolutely fucking nothing. This man's a loose cannon like Scott Steiner used to be in the WCW days when WCW was going in the fucking toilet. Braun Breaker's interfering in this match. He's going to attack both of them. There's going to be a no contest. This is going to be the closer of the show. This is going to be your cliffhanger for Saturday night's main event. And we're going to see a mini tournament occur at Survivor Series as well as a War Games match taking place on this pay-per-view for Survivor Series. That is what you're going to see. Dominic Mysterio, he's retaining the fucking IC Championship. I love Dominic Mysterio. I think he's fucking fantastic. And I hope he does retain. I hope they don't strip him of the belt in this match and make him have to drop it to Penta or Rusev. I think that would suck. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, by all means, go ahead and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.